Hey, what's going on, man? Coach Tyler here with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and we got a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole Daily Show for you. Today is Tuesday, February 13th. I've had a chance to sit down with Coach. Hey, what's going on, man? Coach Tyler here with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness, and we got a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole Daily Show. Today is Tuesday, February 13th, and today I have a special guest with me. Wayne Ritchie is the director of the Carolina Patriot Collegiate League. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk a little bit about the sport in general, but also what these college athletes can do in the summer to continue working on their craft and continue to develop while playing the game they love. Hey, Wayne, man, I appreciate you joining me.
Hey, thanks, Tyler. I appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk to your fan base here.
I appreciate it, man. Like I said, it's good to talk to you. I know we've been chatting it up just a little bit about sort of what the Carolina Patriot Collegiate League is. And I really just want to have you on to kind of talk to us about it, how it started, where it's going, and what it's going to be, man. So how did this thing all come about?
So I got real lucky, to be honest. So I'm an active duty military officer, getting ready to go into the retirement phase of my career. And my wife and I made the decision. We're actually getting ready to open a 15,000 square foot DBAT indoor academy here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we were looking for something to bolster that facility. And what we came across, I have a background in college baseball. My wife's a high school softball coach. And I have always been interested in softball as a summer league. Had the opportunity to go out to Mississippi years ago and play in their Woodbat League one summer, and looked to see if that was for the softball world and community. And we didn't find anything. And I almost got to the point where I was just going to start it completely myself. And then I just happened to come across a podcast one day. And this gentleman named Ryan Moore, who's the owner of the American Collegiate League, heard him talk about the summer league that he has. And I said, let me try to message him and see what he has going on and see if we can be a part of what he's already established. Lucky enough, Ryan took us into the family. He's the owner not only of the Professional Florida Vibe down in Sarasota, Florida, but the patriarch of the American Collegiate League, the Florida Gulf Coast Collegiate League. Mm-hmm. So we went down there, took a look at it, saw what Ryan had going, and said we had to be a part of that. So we came back and established the Carolina Patriot Collegiate League to bring college softball here to the community of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, Harnett County, Hoke, the surrounding area right here.
There is definitely a need. There is a definite want for higher level ball in this area. I say that I call it the Carolinas just because we're so close on the coast. Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, Fayetteville, Raleigh, over into Columbia. That just sort of the corridor, if you will. And there's not a whole lot of professional stuff over here. Now, if you get further south, if you go down there and watch the Pride or watch the Vibe, someone like that, then you're going to get that professional setting. But I'm like you, there's a need for it, man. And what did you learn the most about, or talking with Ryan about what you needed to do to make this thing sort of, be able to live here?
We needed to provide an experience. So you think about the college softball season and the grind that is the softball season, February into May, those that go on into the postseason, deep into May into June for the World Series is there. And these young ladies are getting after it every day. The pressure, the fun, everything that goes along with it. They are grinding it out for those months that are there. And ultimately, all the feedback that we've gotten from the girls that have played in the summer league is they want an experience, but they want an environment and a culture that is based back in fun, bringing fun back to the game. And that's really what we're going to provide here in Fayetteville for them. We're going to provide a great 25-game season, but it's going to be based in having fun and loving the game. again, to a certain extent, right? It's almost kind of like a job when you're in college and you're trying to win for your university, but now it's, wins and losses are always going to matter, but not quite as much here. Now, there's some other things that we're going to get after experience wise, because we want this to be big for the community of Fayetteville, Cumberland County as well, and obviously the big military community that we have here with Fort Liberty, one of the largest military installations in the country here. So we want to be able to give back, let those young ladies put on the show that they put on every night under the lights, and then watch this community just come out in droves and support those young ladies.
We were talking before we started recording about how cool it is for like minor league baseball when you're there. They pack the stands, but it feels like it's just only you that's there because you're enjoying this experience. You're interacting with the players, interacting maybe with the MC and the mascots and stuff. They make you feel a part of it, and it's not something overwhelming like you're going to a professional game, like a professional baseball game, like the Braves or someone like that, to where it's some big ordeal. It's almost like a part of your vacation, but you could go out a couple of nights a week and not break the bank and be able to interact with these players. And these players have a chance to continue playing the game. When do you guys get started, and when's like your first game and that stuff, so that the fans can start to interact with the players?
So the season will be 13 June through 15 July this summer. The girls will report around the 12th of June, and then we'll get kicked off the following Monday. We're going to actually run a Monday through Thursday season. We understand the travel ball world. I've got an 11-year-old daughter that's big into it as well. So dad's gonna be out there supporting her during that time frame. So we're gonna give our girls a break. That's one thing we've heard some feedback from the young ladies. They don't want it to feel like a grind. So we're gonna play Monday through Thursday. They're gonna have their weekends off. They're gonna be able to get out into the community, do those things here in Fayetteville, go down to Conway, to Myrtle Beach, go up to Wilmington Beach, do those things and have an experience. Again, it's about creating an experience for these ladies. One, so they can come in, get better, develop, or continue that hot streak that they were on, or come back from an injury and go, work their way back into it. Some of them may be in the transfer portal. That's a thing as well. They need some tape. They need some film. All of our games are live streamed. Tons of college coaches are watching them. We have college coaches that are our head coaches. It's a great opportunity for assistant college coaches, GAs, that are looking to be a head coach for an amount of time, put that on their resume, and then go back and continue to get after it. Really, what the biggest thing is, what we've seen is that the ladies that come in are able to go back to their universities and contribute right away. Yeah. And one of the big pushes this year that's unique to CPCL is we've got an incoming freshman program. So those ladies that have signed a national letter of intent, that are a graduated senior, can play in our summer league before they enter their freshman year of college. And the feedback we have gotten from college coaches associated with that program alone has been overwhelming. We'll get into it in later discussions. Yeah. We'll fire up some travel ball coaches here real soon, but I am a firm believer that the opportunity for an incoming freshman to play in a college league beside girls that they're going to play with and play against, work out with, develop with, hit with, throw with, is going to be better than playing an 18U travel schedule. Yeah. It's just my personal opinion, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of comments out of that. And I look forward to it. I look forward to the discussion with it.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I was going to get into that question, and from personal experience, I have a player that just recently signed, and we were talking about what she was going to be doing. She's wanted to continue playing for me up until she had to go to school and stuff, and she was talking to her coach, and well, she's in a different situation, but she's going to be playing summer league ball instead of playing for me. She asked me, what would you do, whatever. And I said, look, if you were my kid, I would tell you to go play at that collegiate level because there's no reason for you to. I love you. I want you to stay with me, but it's better for you in the long run to get up and play at that collegiate level because that's what you're going to be playing. You're going to get some high level ball with me, but it's nothing compared to what you're going to be doing there. So that is a good discussion. That's a good topic to get into because I'm sure there are some of the top end travel ball organizations and coaches that'll be like, no, we still got national championships and stuff to chase in here, so letting them be individuals and help themselves, go through there. Down there in Florida, you have the Florida Gulf Coast League that's down there with Ryan. What is the one thing that you learned from him that you're definitely going to implement from here? What is something that he's kind of, I guess, learned along the way of doing this that's made it successful and continuing to grow in Florida that you're just going to jump into it here in the Carolinas with?
I think the number one thing is taking care of the girls.
Yeah.
The way that and I say that through the ability to put on a world-class, premier, professional level 25-game season for these ladies is it. That's what they're here to do. They're here to play softball. They're here to get better, to continue that hot streak, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But making sure that we provide that premier level league, so to speak, for them to play in is everything. From the housing that we put them in, to the uniforms that we put them in, to the umpires that we bring in. We only use college umpires here for our games. We play by complete NCAA rules, down to the balls, so to speak. So everything is top notch, world class, professional organization, and it's all about making sure that we're taking care of them first and foremost.
Yeah, and I think that's important. And for female athletes, they got to feel good to play good. It's just like any athlete, and I think taking care of that kind of stuff for them, making it as professional as possible, looking the part, they can be the part, and they can just go out there and worry about playing the game. They don't have to worry about where they're staying. They're not going to worry about meals, ragged uniforms, the field conditions, the umpire, stuff like that. By you guys making it as professional as possible, I think that's just, one big initial step into growing a league that's here.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, I'll start the conversation, but it goes something as simple as coaches, right? One of our number one things is to grow the game. Mm-hmm. So we want to give opportunities back. I will tell you, one of my coaches that's actually going to coach the team. So all of our teams have a military themed name, back to my grassroots, mm-hmm. My military service. So the one that's, near and dear to my heart that I've done for my entire career, she's coming from her 5th year straight off the playing field into the coach's box. That was huge for us to be able to do. Yeah, sure, she might be a little raw. She might be a little green. She may not know everything about coaching. That doesn't matter. Right. What matters is giving her an opportunity to get out there and start to lead in a coaching perspective, because that's what she wants to do as she moves on out of her playing career. She hangs up her cleats. So that's what, that's what it's about for us, as secondary to making sure that we provide that world-class experience for these young ladies.
That's special. How many teams are you going to have in this first year?
So we're projecting 6 right now. So we'll have somewhere between 70 and 90 girls. Our rosters were, it's obviously every college coach is concerned when you talk pitchers and pitching and how much you're going to use them, so on and so forth. Most of the pitching will be done by committee. We're having a conversation with every player's coach that signs up and say, okay, what do you want her to get better at this year? If she's a third baseman and she's struggling glove side, hey, well, we're going to work glove side stuff, and we're going to put her in positions to do that. Hey, I want to see her hit, you know, uh, X, Y, and Z, right? Um, Pitching, same deal. Hey, I want to see her in late games because we think we're going to use her as a, late inning or late game, middle relief closer type role. Okay. Hey, but let's put her in some of those positions so she gets used to that.
Yeah.
Hey, coach, you got her on our pitch count. Yeah, I'd like to see her only throw about 70 pitches a game. Or, hey, I don't want to go more than 35 innings this summer. Okay, great. No problem. But we owe that back. Again, it's a part of that professionalism. We owe that back to those universities because, again, it's about giving them their players back ready to contribute the next year, starting in that fall.
Yeah. And, that sort of leads me into my next point. How close is that relationship with the college coaches? And two, that's just another piece of growing the overall game. And that's what I'm all about here at the podcast. And that's why me and you, I think, connected like we did, both of our military backgrounds and then growing the sport. But having that connection from the college game. And then, of course, we were talking about getting into that professional game as well. I mean, it takes us all together.
Yep. So I think I'll take it one step further. What it's going to do more than anything, we're in a unique position for our youth within the community too. Because not only are these ladies going to come in, play, get better, but they're going to provide back to the community too. They're going to put on clinics. They're going to put on camps. They're going to do stuff like that. We now have a youth organization that is tied from the youth to the college to the professional level with the connections that we have. There's no other organization in the country like that. There's some that are going to get there, I think for sure, but that is going to be the wave of the future. As we said off camera, I think the next 4, 5, 6 years, 8 years down the road, you're going to see a lot of these organizations that start, having that type of structure associated with their organization. And that's part of growing the game, right? It's only going to make our youth better. It's going to make our college level better, our high school and colleges better, and then we're gonna explode into the pro scene here real soon.
Yeah, I think we have such great pioneers and ambassadors to the sport, and unfortunately, the professional game they just don't make enough money, and we're talking about the wages and stuff like that. So I think at some point some of these little girls that are playing 8U, 10U ball right now will be making a living. I hope. I mean, that's a goal that I have, but it's not a personal goal or anything like that, but it's a goal that I have to continue to contribute in some way to continue to grow the game so that it continues on the path that it's going. And I hope that some girl now, maybe an 8U, 10U, 12U ball player, in 10 years or whatever is making a professional living where she doesn't have to worry about joining the real world until she's done playing the game. I mean, that's the whole reason that, baseball players, they grind like they do, football players, basketball players, they grind because there is a professional league out there that is sustainable. And I know, kind of with the WPF going through its transition, Athletes Unlimited is something that has grown and it's popular, but it's like in those little pocket cities and it's like a flash in the pan and then it's gone. We as softball fans want more. I think you getting into like the grassroots of the game, and having players, they're tangible. When we can see them on TV, it's one thing, but like you said, the clinics and they can actually go out there and sit and talk to a collegiate ball player, knowing like, hey man, in a few years I'm going to be just like her.
I tell you, and I am the day that it happens, I think I might actually tear up a little bit, but the one thing that I am looking forward to more than anything with this college league is to see a bunch of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old girls lining the fence at the ballpark that these college teams are playing at. And they're standing there with their little yellow softball. And after the game, our college girls are going over the fence and they're signing balls. Because you're exactly right. That's exactly what's going to happen. Again, we both have daughters, right? I want a role model for my daughter. I want somebody for her to look up to, and that's going to be a part of it. And to go back to the professional game piece of it is that we got to get them paid, period. 100%. I think we're closer. You can kind of mark it down on the podcast. I think you're going to have a 14 or 15-year-old that's sitting right now that's going to make a living by the time she gets out of college. I think we're that close with a couple of these professional organizations and what they're trying to do. We're real close. But part of it is big business has to get on board. TV and big business has to get on board, and we have to provide them. Think about this, right? I again, baseball background. A bullpen catcher makes the league minimum. I think it's $235, $240 right now a year to be a bullpen catcher, right? And these girls are scraping at scraps to just go out there and play for 30, 45, 60 days as a professional. And then they got to go back to their teaching and coaching job or nursing or, running a small business or whatever that may be. So we got to get them paid. We got to get big business on board. We got to get TV on board with that. But I think it starts here. It starts in these college leagues that are starting to pop up around the country. Ryan's done a great job organizing us underneath one banner, being the American Collegiate League. And if you kind of look at it, it starts to really kind of look like a minor league system that's out there. We're going to have 4 directors of scouting for 4 different professional teams here in Fayetteville, North Carolina this summer. They're going to be looking at girls. But no, I agree. I think it's closer than you think. I
think the opportunities that people like yourself, Ryan Moore, and others throughout the country, the opportunities that you guys are thinking of and actually, putting the pedal to the metal, if you will, on this stuff, you're going to have more and more people jumping on board because it does cost money. Everything does in this world. But when they see that it works, I mean, the game is exciting. I mean, you look at it, it went from 25 seconds to 20 seconds in between pitches. Now, I saw a ball called this weekend on a batter. I mean, the game is fast, and they're making it even faster. I think that's what makes it exciting. And I'm still a baseball fan, but if there was a softball game or a baseball game on TV, I'm going to watch it. I don't even care who the teams are playing softball. I don't care who they are. I'm going to end up watching that softball game because for me, it's more exciting. And I love to watch the game live in front of me. I had a chance to watch the Vibe play in Tennessee when we were out there this summer, and just watching them do BP, and they did a home run derby. And there was like a few batters, and they were just rotating through whatever. The crowd was getting into it. Now we're getting baked because if you've ever sat in that stadium there in Tennessee, Chattanooga, that sun is like on top of you, it seems like. And it didn't matter. I mean, we're getting fried out there, but we're watching these girls launch these balls, and it's just incredible to see. So I think more people have an opportunity to watch the game live. It's going to bring more popularity to the sport, which is already growing.
I mean, you guys watched it on a big stage. So we had the opportunity as the Carolina Patriot Collegiate League to host a youth clinic here in Fayetteville early December. Mm-hmm. And we brought in Bailey Boo Benoit, who plays for the Florida Vibe, big time Charlotte. Holds almost every record at Conference USA. Yeah, and I pitched to her to let these young ladies watch her hit the ball, and it would the looks on their faces when she started teeing off on these things, it was unreal. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. That's why this game is so special. MLB has gone to the power game. It has. It's been that way for a couple of years now. Yeah. But the power game is in softball, but the small ball is still in softball. That's what keeps the action going. It's the slappers. It's the bunts. It's hit and run, girls taking an extra bag, that kind of stuff. That is what makes softball so exciting and so fast paced, is you get the combination of a metal bat, a 47 core ball, and a 200-foot fits. But at the same time, I can lay a bunt down and watch girls run around. I know when we coach that, we call it controlled chaos. And that's what we're looking for, offensive mindset and philosophy.
Yeah. I do a routine at the end of my hitting lessons with most of my girls, 90% of the girls that hit with me. And it'll be at the end of it. I don't care where they hit the ball, whether if they hit it in play somewhere, no matter what, tell me a scenario why that hit works. I know that you wanted to hit a line drive to left center, a line drive to right center. I get that. But even if you roll over something like that or don't have the best swing, but you put the ball in play, give me a scenario in a game why that hit would work. And we do it. And it's like the last 10 pitches of the batting practice that we go through. And it just gives them this confidence of just get the ball in play because good things happen. I mean, you get a little slow roll over to third base and she bobbles it. Now you're able to take an extra back because it's a wild throw. And just the speed of the game is so exciting, man.
100%. I mean, it is. And I mean, the little 12-year-old travel team that my daughter plays on, that's one thing that we ingrained into them is so much. It's the speed of the game. Like they've moved on from 10U now. It's a whole different ball game and a whole different world out there now. So it's going to be a lot of fun for sure moving forward. And we're super excited, and we're super excited for the community of Fayetteville and Cumberland County and the surrounding counties that we have here. We fully expect to see some of you guys coming up from Conway.
Definitely.
And
you're going to have to figure out, find me the best hotel to stay at because I imagine I'll be coming up there quite a bit.
Oh, we got some good Marriotts up here. I'm a Marriott guy.
Well, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have you back on here in the next couple of weeks just to continue talking about this, continue to give you sort of a platform for these young ladies. And as we move through the spring and into the summer, and we actually get into play, I'm going to get up there for some of the games. I'll be able to sit down with some of these girls and talk to them, do some interviews and stuff like that with them, be able to sit down with you and the wife and kind of talk about it and just, continue to spread the word and get as many people as we can to come to the games and sort of pack the house every night.
No, we love it. We'd love to have you up, and we look forward to it. Bring your team up. We'll put them in the dugout with the girls and everything. That's the kind of experience we want to create up here. We look forward to it.
I can't wait, and I want to try to get involved as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna push myself in.
Come on.
All right, man. I appreciate you, Wayne. We'll catch up, buddy.